Hey guys, welcome back to the Detour Live. Thanks for joining us on your Thursday night or Thursday morning if you're in Europe. I'm your host, Dan Jones, joined as always by four-time national road champion from Australia, Johnny Trevorrow. And if he 1 month till Christmas, you're going to get into the Black Friday sales and get all your Chrissy shopping done early, you'd be someone that likes to meticulously plan every aspect of your life, mate.
I do. Kay's already done it all and bought every present known to man. So she did it about 6 months ago, I think. But anyway, so all good.
And obviously I was very disappointed that for my 40th birthday this year, you forgot to mention on the show. But there's a very important birthday for a very important man today, John. And I would have thought that you were being first to text him this morning to wish him all the best. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, it was Jerry Ryan's birthday today.
That's right.
What we were talking about. I did text him. I said, well done, old fella.
Yeah.
I won't give his age up, but he's just a fraction younger than me, but not much.
He doesn't look anywhere near your age, right? So still well.
Whatever. No, he's a good man, and I know that he's celebrated with the staff at Moulin Rouge this afternoon. So
nice.
Coughing, I would have been there with bells on myself. But anyway, there you
go. So you haven't seen the live show yet, Moulin Rouge?
No, I haven't been well enough to go, but I'll be going very soon. A couple of mates went just the other day. They just can't stop raving about it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, someone we can't stop raving about is obviously an up-and-coming emerging superstar of Australian cycling, Sarah Gigante. It's been a real rollercoaster year for her, unfortunately, with a few little setbacks.
Well, not just a roller coaster year, but a roller coaster career. I mean, she just keeps getting thrown these huge hurdles, but she just seems to overcome them with aplomb. You know what I mean? You never hear her complaining. I'm sure sometimes she must get down and out, but we don't see any of that. She is just a superstar. Now, I know that regulars on the Detour will know that I've got a real soft spot for Sarah Gigante because she is just the most gorgeous young lady and maybe the most naturally talented cyclist I've laid eyes on. Seriously, she has got everything, and I predict she's going to be number one in the world one day.
But have to be the smartest because I was doing a bit of research. ATAR score, it was an enter score back in my day, 99.95. That's like perfect score. You've clocked school. What do you remember what score you got back in the day? If you have scores back then?
A fraction under that, I know.
Okay. All right. Well, let's bring Sarah on now, who joins us live. Sarah, welcome back to the Detour. First obvious question is, how are you feeling?
Yeah, thanks for the kind words. I'm feeling very flattered. But no, I'm doing well, thanks. All that's wrong with me now is that I'm very unfit.
Now, it's probably better for you to explain it, but can you just take us through 2021 for you, and you can talk as long as you want. It's probably better that we don't butt in with, stupid irrelevant comments.
Yeah, you don't.
That's like a massive roller coaster, that's for sure. So I just remember starting the year so excited because, we were coming out of like what felt like a super long Melbourne lockdown, and I'd been, watching everyone race in Europe while I was on the trainer the whole time, like wishing I was there. So I was so excited to just get out there, do the bunchies again and get back into racing and show how hard I'd worked, show myself and show Dylan how well we'd done together through the lockdown. And Dylan's my coach. So it was just so cool starting off at the Santos Festival of Cycling. Coming away with the win there and working with an awesome team was just such a cool feeling. Felt so exciting just to be out there again. And then to defend the national time trial title was also super cool. And then, then it was pretty much on to Europe. I went to Adelaide for a couple of weeks, which was fun. I learned a lot and the track girls were super nice. I also got some Adelaide QOMs. Maybe I'll add that to my high list because the year kind of went downhill. So we have to, count every high. So Adelaide QOMs were pretty good. And then Europe was really fun to start with. So I went to Italy, which was really nice because I did Trofeo Alfredo Binda was my first race, and it's quite a hilly race. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely was I could tell it was my first race, and I think I spent quite a lot of energy early on that in hindsight maybe I shouldn't have, but I felt like I really had a lot of fun, and I finished off in the Young Riders jersey for the Women's World Tour just because it was one of the early ones. So, and I think I was on equal points or something, but I got to wear the jersey at the end of the day, so that felt pretty cool. And then it was on to Belgium, and Belgium was going all right. I felt like I was learning a lot, and definitely those first early races that I didn't suit me a ton. They're pretty flat and windy, and I definitely have to learn a lot about echelons and everything and just get stronger. But unfortunately, I think it was like 5 races in at Flesh Wallone, one of the races that I was really looking forward to. There were 2 that I was really looking forward to, Flesh Wallone and Liège-Bastogne-Liège, the 2 hilliest ones, the Ardennes. And unfortunately in Flesh, just in the first hour, I crashed. As someone crashed in front of me, I flipped quite badly and broke my elbow, my collarbone, and my fibula. And that's in your leg. So I got back on and I chased. I got back to the peloton. So I'm adding that to my highs. Just to like stretch out the list of highs.
Who are you?
I did 20 minutes. I mean, I shouldn't be boasting. It's pretty bad because like in hindsight, it was quite dangerous. Like going through the convoy, I could like hardly hold my handlebars. But I don't know how I did it with a broken leg. Like as soon as I stopped, so I did like 10K, and then I was like, this is such a stupid idea. Like no way can I get up the middle when I can't even like hold on to the handlebars, let alone get out of the seat. So when I stopped, then I realized that my leg was very, very sore. But when I was riding, I was more just I knew that it was like quite wrong, but I was hoping it was just dislocated so it would like pop back in. But no. So I stopped. Then I went to Girona, did my rehab there, and I was liking Girona. Although another low there was I was sleeping one day. I didn't live with anyone in this apartment, so it's just me, and I was asleep, and I hear like 2 bangs, but I was so tired from like all the training and stuff, and it was early in the morning, so I just went back to sleep. And then like I don't know, a few minutes later, I woke up again because there was a 3rd bang, a massive hiss, and my door slammed shut. And at that point, I was like, "Oh my god, what's happening? Is there like a massive snake in the kitchen or something?" So it out of the room at like 5 a.m. and there was like all these flames. It was horrible. And I grabbed like, I think at the time, I can't remember now, but it was like scarred into my vision. I grabbed like a glass that I found near the sink and started filling it up to like pour in the flames, but then it exploded. So I was like running around barefoot on glass, like trying to put out all the water. And it was horrible. So it turned out it was just a battery, a portable battery pack had exploded. Just my luck. But anyway, I survived and the flat was okay. So thankfully I was fine. But that was just a random story. And then I got picked for the Olympics, which was super cool, and that made the rehab a lot easier because I was so excited. That was such a dream come true. The Olympics were also super fun. Obviously, just being there felt so special, and we had such a great team. Like our attitude and cohesion was awesome, and all the staff was super nice. All the Japanese volunteers were lovely. Just getting all the stuff was really cool, like the suitcase and the clothes and everything like that. And just being there was cool. I got a selfie with both the Olympic champions, even with Roglic. Actually, I got a selfie with him too. And then what next? Then I got back to Spain, and I was really excited because I'd been training for the Olympics for so long, which was super cool. But I also really wanted to do the hilly races, like Tour de l'Ardèche in France and Tour of the Gila. At that point, it wasn't cancelled, so I was excited for Ardèche because it's super, super hilly. And then Gila is also super hilly, but it's also in America. So I was pumped to go visit my brother, or maybe he could come watch the race. So I was really excited just to do some tours and finally get stuck into some really hard international racing, because so far I've pretty much just, apart from Binder and then the Olympics, I've pretty much just done the Belgian racing or Australian racing. So I was really excited for that stuff. But then, I got like sick pretty much straight after the Olympics. Like I'm just very glad that I could do the Olympics because then I didn't ride for like 3 months.
So just take us back through that, because the important thing is because that's when you realise that you had this challenge with your heart, and they've what they do
pronounce it.
myopericarditis, and it's an inflammation of the heart and the surrounding tissues, and it's a combination of myocarditis and pericarditis. Is that correct?
Yeah, sounds about right. Mine was very mild, so yeah, my heart wasn't too bad, and now it's completely fine. But it does mean that you have to take a long time off, just as a precaution. But yeah, I got the all clear. I was taking it super easy at first. But yeah, I think they would put it in articles and stuff. Like it was hard to diagnose because it was mild, and because they were just thinking I was having like a panic attack or something, which I wasn't. They just kept sending me home, and I was like,
You should have said, mate, I've ridden with a broken leg. I know when I'm not right.
I know what pain is.
Yeah, you know what pain feels like.
I don't think she does know when it's actually not right, because she keeps going, But anyway, so who was it that finally picked it up?
Someone in Barcelona. The Barcelona hospital was really good. When Scott came, we went to Barcelona. They listened to me. They listened to Scott a bit more there. It was a bigger hospital, so that was good. And then I just took it easy. Had a bit of a Spanish holiday. Not really, but yeah. And then I came back once I could. It was quite hard to get back to Australia, but once I was here, it was good. And yeah, once I got out of quarantine, I actually got out after 9 days rather than 14 because the rules changed midway. So that was a nice surprise. And then an even nicer surprise was once I got out, at that stage, I was still like keeping my heart rate really, really low. So I was pretty much just walking. Well, I was just walking, but I was like, I reckon I could like find an e-bike somewhere that I could rent, because then I can go walking speed, but on my bike it's way more fun, because like walking's all right, but when you're used to cycling and going fast, it's just not the same. So I actually posted on Bike Swap Style Road Cycling Victoria, and then it was so nice. All these people, like even strangers, were reaching out and not just offering for me to rent their bikes, but even some people were saying I could borrow their bike. And in the end, I'm about to give it back because I have good news, and I'm all good to go on my own bike. But yeah, in the end, I borrowed a bike from 99 Bikes Q for the last 3 weeks. So that was super fun. I'd never been on an e-bike before, so I have to say it's won me over. I liked it.
I mean, following a bit of that social media, and I see one lovely lady who you didn't even know offered to go and buy a bike you could use, and then she would use it after you.
Yeah,
so that was pretty special.
How nice is that? Like people are just so lovely, and like I already knew that, but then when you need it more, then you really realize like how lucky you are. Like as just strangers, friends, and also my family. I was so lucky. My brother came all the way from America to visit me in Spain, and then my mum even got out of Australia, which was an achievement in itself. Oh, there's Scott. We look quite similar in the masks. The nurses were always saying.
We've got a couple of live comments that have come through. Kirsty Baxter, I've never seen Iffy fanboy or girl this much. She says,
I admit it.
Great to have you back in Australia, Sarah. Janice Ashcroft says hi. Kim Dixon says, I see Sarah's wearing the Tibco brand. Great work and best of luck for 2022. Jethro Nagel says, the swag. And Peter Volker says, amazing. How tough is this girl? Broken collarbone, elbow, and fibula, and gets back on the peloton. Now, you did say it was a bit dangerous, but, I mean, most cyclists, you do like that. I mean, it's a good part of your brand, toughness, someone that just keeps fighting and those sort of things. Particularly in the early parts of your career, I mean, how important is it to build relationships, try and do the right thing, learn as much as you can to build that progression? Yeah,
for sure. And I've been so lucky just to have such amazing people around me the whole way through, from right when I was a little 8-year-old starting at the Brunswick Junior Clinic. I was so lucky that Mum and I picked the Brunswick Cycling Club when we Googled cycling clubs for kids on that day, so many years ago, 13 years ago. So yeah, I'm really lucky to have the support of my club and Dave, Elfcam, and now so many others like Ag, everyone at the club, they're just so lovely. And of course, my mum, the whole way through, she's been amazing. And right now, she's also amazing, still supporting me, because even though I'm definitely better than I was, like, it's still frustrating because I'd love to be, getting straight back into. I'd love to be on the ergo. She was on the ergo like 20 minutes ago, and then I kicked her off because I wanted to do the podcast.
Well, it's funny on the social media. There's all that stuff. You weren't allowed to take your heart rate over 100. I see that's all just about to change. But I was going to say on Sunday we're going to ride up in the Dandenongs with my mate Donnie Allen, who was my Olympic teammate, and you could have come and joined us because you. Guaranteed your heart rate won't go over 100 riding with us. But anyway, I'll tell you about that later.
I might from stress.
But the other thing I was going to say, following the social media, you seem to have been become the champion of the anti-vaxxers who reckoned that you getting a crook heart was all to do with your vaccination. So I don't know where they got that from, but I saw quite a bit of stuff flowing around about that. What's your outlook on that?
Yeah, well, I have to say I don't love being anti-vax propaganda, to be honest. I'm happy to be vaccinated, and I think everyone knows that. For the greater good, I think vaccination is obviously the way forward, and the chances of getting, I don't actually know what mine was from, like the doctors don't know. So, I mean, I was probably just unlucky and had some random Japanese bug, to be honest, because the chances of getting myopericarditis, especially as a young woman, but for anyone, it's higher from COVID than from the vaccine. So, and yeah, there are so many other complications of COVID, and you can see what the world's been like for the last 2 years. I think it's fantastic that we have a vaccine now, and I'm definitely pro-vax, I have to say.
Well, and the fact that you got a score of 99.95, I think I'll take your word any day of the week. So, no doubt about that. Hey, look, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk about your signing with Movie Star and look ahead to the future.
Look at this bike. You think it's just a bike, right? But it's not. It's a bike 374 people are looking at. This guy, this girl, them, all looking at it. People from here, there, and wherever this is. People that are looking for a bike. Or just a piece of it. Amateurs, semi-amateurs, and pro-amateurs. This guy wants this bike, but with this crank and these bars. This could be the perfect match. But not this one. This girl has a bike to sell, and thousands of people might purchase it. Eyes on Bikes help grow small businesses. His, hers, yours, and the latest data and insights help those businesses keep moving. We are the world's #1 bike marketplace, with over 500,000 products and 900 brands, where buyers and sellers are brought together in a place where a bike is never just a bike. Bike Exchange, where the world buys, sells, learns, and rides.
Life is like a two-way street. It's about consideration and mutual respect. Roads are much the same. However you get around, walk, ride or drive, if we share our roads, we can all be safer. The Amy Gillett Foundation is Australia's peak cycling safety charity. Our mission is for safe cycling in Australia. Our vision is for 0 cyclist deaths. Over the last year, we've seen an enormous increase in people taking up cycling, whether it be for recreation, with the family, commuting, or even to start your own cycling career. We need to do more to make it safer for every cyclist. 20 cyclists every day are hospitalised, and 1 cyclist is killed every 10 days on Australian roads. So, the next time you jump on your bike or hop in your car, remember to practice the 4 C's. Be courteous, calm, considerate, and conscientious. Every cyclist death is preventable, and we all deserve to get home safely. Please donate to help the Amy Gillett Foundation make the roads safer for you and for me.
Thanks again to Bike Exchange and the Amy Gillett Foundation, and a bit of a shout out to the Amy Gillett Foundation. We had a function with them on Friday night, and John, unfortunately, you were still crook, so you weren't able to attend. And I like when John gets crook, he goes, "Nah, I'll go, but I just won't drink." And it's like, John, it's 2021, mate. We don't want you there. You go on to the days where you can go to function, you're confident, spluttering, and people are like, "Oh, he's got the flu, mate. You'll be right." Like, you're kryptonite. But there were some great initiatives spoken about by what the foundation are doing, and particularly moving forward, I think it's a really positive time for them and the effect they're going to have on cycling safety across Australia. So back to your story, Sarah. Obviously, there's a lot written about when you signed with Movistar to the end of 2024, I think. And I've read also that they've been amazing supports, particularly with the setbacks that you've had this year.
Yeah, well, I have to firstly say a massive thank you to my current team, Tibco Silicon Valley Bank, for the last 2 years, really. Like, the whole time, they've been awesome and supported me the whole way through when I've had a lot of setbacks, even though it's only been 2 years and, like, I'm going to be fine, and I am fine now. But, yeah, they really were great the whole time. And I'll be sad to move on, even though I'm super excited to go to Movistar next year. But yeah, I'm really lucky in that I have the support of both teams. Tibco has been amazing and still is amazing. And then, yeah, Movistar are very patient as well.
Well, I was going to say, it's wonderful news, and they're a really strong team. I would have much rather seen you go to Green Edge Bike Exchange, but that didn't happen. But what's the plans for? I mean, obviously, it'd be unlikely that you'd be able to make it to Santos Festival of Cycling. Is there any chance that?
I don't think so. I think it would be a big rush. Like, I'm only just starting to ride now, just nice and easy. I think it's better for my body. I think if I just ease my way back into it after 3 months of literally nothing. So for now, this is what I've been doing before I joined the podcast. I've been learning Spanish.
Oh, wow. I tried. My brain attention, I don't know what diagnosis it is, but I just wander off. I end up looking at the roof and getting distracted. Short attention span. Maybe I had like ADHD as a kid, undiagnosed or something. But yeah, I could never learn a language. How do you find learning a new language?
Well, I'm lucky that I enjoy it. I'm doing it for fun, and also so that I can speak to my teammates when I go on camp.
Well, you're doing a double degree in linguistics and geography, so you'll not only know where you're going, but you'll know how to talk to them when you get there. I think it's fantastic.
Well, unfortunately, we don't actually learn, we don't learn a language in linguistics, and we don't learn geography in geography. Like, for example, my subjects this semester, I did global inequalities in the Anthropocene, which was really interesting, but it's not like I know all the different places. Like, I couldn't even tell you where the team camp is. And I just read the email like an hour ago. And then, exploring linguistic diversity. So that didn't help me with my Spanish either. But yeah, luckily I tried to learn a little bit when I was in Barcelona, although they speak Catalan there more than Spanish. And then I did French in high school, and it's quite similar. I did Latin too. So I don't know, just throw them all together and you get this melting pot of something.
Well, how important has it been for you to have that balance outside of cycling, particularly when, you've got setbacks with injuries and you can't ride the bike? How crucial has that element been for your life?
Oh, yeah, so good. Like, I'm on holidays now, and I'm actually, for once, I'm like, I kind of wish I wasn't on holidays because I'm a bit, I feel busy with other stuff, but it's nice just to have goals. And normally my biggest goal is of every day. I'm so competitive with my cycling. Like, my biggest goal is always to completely ace my training that day, or smash my rider buddies, or smash that race, something like that. So it's nice to be able to have a different goal. Before it was uni, I guess, and now I'm trying really hard to learn Spanish, and I'm catching up with my friends and everything too. But I do really, I'm competitive even with myself. So yeah, I guess that's my goal for now. I think it's important just to have something else to think about, because especially when things aren't going so well. If I just based myself on my current FTP, for example, then I'd be pretty upset. So yeah, I'm going off my Spanish levels instead of my FTP.
We had Grace Brown on earlier in the year, and I think we were talking about you. And one of the hardest things to learn early on is to control that urge when you're feeling good to basically ride smarter. Is that one of the things that you think is something you really want to develop, particularly with the racing scene in Europe, being able to contain that energy and those emotions where you want to go off and smash it and make an attack, but just staying reserved?
Yeah, I think I'll be able to learn a lot from my teammates next year. I think that's definitely what I'm most excited about. I'll have such experienced riders alongside me, especially Annemiek van Vleuten. But yeah, the whole team is actually super awesome, and all the staff are awesome too. So I think that would be great. Although I have to say, I hope not to completely get rid of that bit of stupidness when it comes to my racing. I quite like it.
Yeah.
You mentioned Annemiek van Vleuten, who is top lady and an enormous talent, and we all saw the terrible situation where she crossed the line second in the Olympics and thought she had won it. Did you know what was going on up there? Did you think that Anna Kiesenhofer was still in front, or because you were just a few minutes further back? Did you know what was going on up the front?
I knew when I was there. I knew because I had a motorbike with a sign saying like these are the numbers of the riders out the front, and this is the time gap. So when I was there, it was clear, but I can't say what happened after that because I was dropped and I got back on. But like by then, I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" Yeah. So I don't really know, but I think some riders knew in the peloton.
Yeah, some did, some didn't.
So what are some of your big goals for 2022 and beyond?
Well, so I just want to like race my bike again. I think that's definitely what I'm most excited about. Just even that first training session, it's gonna hurt so much, but it's gonna be so fun. So yeah, just like getting out there, having fun, getting fit, racing, but especially getting to do some hilly races at last when I'm in good form. With my new teammates, and that would be so cool. And I'd love to race the first revamped Tour de France FAM. So I'm really
That's
excited.
exactly what I was leading to. I was waiting for you to say that. How big is that? It's the, as you said, it's first revamped, first real Tour de France in many decades. But that must be high on the wish list for 2022.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, I don't know if I'll be selected. I don't know if I'll get to do either, but maybe it will be the Giro instead. So, and of course, I have to be like back into top fitness to be able to do such a hard race and be picked for it. But yeah, if I just got to pick a dream race, it would definitely be the Tour de France. I remember going to Europe with Donna Ray. She was our, I guess, DS when we went as the Aussie development team a couple of years ago, and she was telling us about when she was in the Tour de France back in the 80s, I think it was. So it just felt so. It was just epic just to listen to and to be part of like a new generation that can inspire like little boys, little girls, adults, like everyone. I think that it would be so cool. And even if I'm not picked to race, then I'm really excited to just see it come back to life because I think it's long overdue, and I'm so glad that it's happening. And yeah, thanks to Zwift for supporting it.
We've got a couple more comments. Spooks93 says, love your work, Sarah. Keep killing it. Look forward to seeing you kick goals in 2022. And Kirsty Baxter wants to know, did you study the Tour de France route metre by metre while in lockdown?
No, I didn't even think the routes were announced. They were definitely announced sometime while I was in quarantine, though, because I was walking. I didn't have a trainer in my room, and I wasn't riding in quarantine anyway, but I was walking. So I was walking back and forth in the room listening to the freewheeling podcast, and they were going over the route. So I remember doing my steps, thinking about the Super Planche de Bellevue or whatever it's called.
Well, Dan and I are going to the tour next year, so I hadn't missed one for 22 years or something, and so I missed the last two, but we're back. So we're going to the Tour de France. Dan, I don't know whether you'll be able to stay for the women's race, but I am. I'm staying for the women's race as well. So if you were there, I'll be there annoying you for the whole 8 days. So that'll be fantastic.
Might be late scratching. Yeah, fantastic. Is there anything else you want to fire in, Iffy, before we let Sarah get back to her Spanish lessons and study?
No, just you just touched on the fact that you had some good news that you're allowed to step up from the maximum 100 beats a minute. So, are they saying you can actually get back to proper training now? Is that the go?
Oh yeah, well the 100 beats, I was very, very conservative, so I probably didn't have to do that, but I wanted to be as safe as possible, and I think everyone around me wanted that too. So yeah, I mean we were just being super cautious there, but I've been feeling fine, and yeah, my heart's good, so it's all good news. But I won't go crazy. Like I think I don't know, is it 9 weeks till nationals? My coach Dylan is racing, and he's super excited. So I have been keeping an eye on like the countdown, but not for me. I think it would be a bit much to try and get my body to just go from like nothing into like, oh, nationals. So yeah, I'm very sad, I have to say. Like I'm smiling, but I'm actually deep down, I'm like, oh, missing nationals, very sad. But it's on every year. So yeah, I will be excited to see who wins.
And you know what's even worse than that, don't you? It was the next question I was going to ask. I guess the Bay quits is out of the question altogether. We'd love to have had you.
Wave the flag.
Yeah, well, we'd love to have you down. You of course, would look. You bring Kerry down, and we'd bring the whole mob down. We'd love to have you doing that. It'd be wonderful.
Last one for me, Sarah, is obviously we've talked about the setbacks this year. There's been a lot of highs. What do you think are the key takeaways from this year? That you like the learnings that you could potentially pass on to the listeners?
Well, a learning for the listeners. The listeners probably know more than I do, so that's a bit hard, I reckon. Well, I think what I've learned is to appreciate everything when it's going really well, because I know that's what I'm going to be doing. As soon as I can get back and just like I already love training, but I'm never, ever going to complain about training again. Like if I'm like so tired and it's like hailing and I have like a 5-hour ride with like 600 efforts, I'm going to be so excited because not being able to train when you want to train sucks. So yeah, I'm just so excited. It's just going to be so fun, and I'm going to hopefully enjoy every minute and soak it up. That's
how refreshing is it if you're hearing such a positive attitude? And such a humble person. It is so refreshing. So you're an absolute superstar, Sarah, and we really appreciate you coming on the show. And we're really looking forward to once you get out there in the movie star colours, and hopefully 2022 is a sensational year for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for having me on. I can't believe it
was a pleasure.
That blew my mind when you said that.
What was that, sorry?
I can't believe it's 1 month till Christmas. When you said that, I was like, what?
Black Friday sales tomorrow. That's it. Start loading up.
And apologies to Phil Liggett, because I told the whole thing with mates Phil was coming on, but I just read his note back to me saying he couldn't come on till 9:30 London time. I didn't really look. So it's about he'll be on in about an hour.
We'll be gone by then. It's not like you to get logistics wrong, John.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, thanks again, Sarah. Good luck with the Spanish.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye. Say hello to Kerry. Bye.
Sarah Gigante, as we said, absolute superstar and such a refreshing attitude. Now, Johnny, Phil, speaking of Phil, he had his African safari, I think it was last weekend. I think there's one more remaining, yeah?
Yeah, I was not well enough to join them. I was still crook. But,
you might as well run the promo.
Go. Yeah. And then we'll quickly talk about Donnie Allen's ride on Sunday. There's still a few spots if people want to come along.
No dramas. Here's the promo for Phil's African Safari.
Hi everyone, it's Phil Liggett here, and it's time to get my African Safari on the road again. We're heading back to the Kareka Game Reserve in the Eastern Cape of South Africa, where animals including the rhino roam freely. We did 4 great rides in June, and now, with 2 new ones, we're set to go again. There will be eminent guests to answer your questions on the wildlife and also offer an opportunity to win amazing trips to Kareka. We'll chat to one another, and you don't even have to ride, thanks to Full Gas, who will set you up to watch on Zoom when you enroll and make a donation. We have 4 rides, 1 per month, starting on September 19. They last an hour, and if you have a smart trainer, you can pedal your way through the reserve, or you can just sit back with a cup of tea. In either case, knowing that your participation is helping keep the animals safe and free to roam. Come and join me, and all the information you need to have is at careca.co.za/peloton, and let's go.
Get behind Phil for your last chance till the end of the year. And if you were saying Donnie Allen's ride.
Yeah, on Sunday, Yeltsin, there he is, been the first Australian to win a stage in a Grand Tour. So it's the mountaintop ride. It's a 10:30. There's a mountain bike ride, which is quite a tough one. And at 11 o'clock, just an easier road ride, which Donnie's doing and I'm doing as well, just for a bit of fun. As I said, heartbeat won't get over 100. And then afterwards, Yeltsin's got this fantastic mobile bar and be a slight lunch. It's just going to be a wonderful day. $40. All proceeds go to Australian Red Cross. And he's a brewer, and he's even brewed some special beers, European type beers.
10%ers?
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'm well enough. No, it'll be a lovely day. So anyone can get along. I think there's about a dozen spots still left. So yeah, and
the phone number.
Yeah, that's Yeltsin's number. 0459803482, or the website, which tells you everything, how to get there and whatever, up in the Dandenongs. Yeltsin, YALCIN.ADAL@gmail.com.
Sounds great.
Good day.
All right, mate. Well, it's been a fantastic show. Massive thanks to Sarah Gigante. And big shout out to Bike Exchange and Mark Watkins in particular for all their support throughout the year so far. They've been amazing. And obviously, we mentioned the Amy Gillett Foundation earlier. Really inspired after hearing Dan Knapp and all the crew talking about their initiatives moving forward. I think it's going to be a really big period for the foundation, and they will hopefully get a lot of cut through. Iffy, anything you want to add before we go?
Just, I've had a few asking me about the Tour de France. I said, we'd be interested to go. So I said, well, we'll be
next week.
All about it next week. So that's what I said last week. So next week.
Why don't we do a detour special next week, and we bring on some people that have been on the old detours, and we tell some detour stories, because people love detour stories.
We want people to come. We don't want
scare people. You've got to be transparent. What you can show is a progression where you finally worked out how to run these tours. And it took 20 years. So we can start at the beginning and talk about the mistakes and how we've learned from them.
It's a shame that my mate Simon Townley's not with us any longer. A shame for a stack of reasons. One, he was an absolutely glorious man. But he would tell some stories that probably no one would come back from. But anyway, it's another, all good stuff.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. As we always say, get me on the show, youtube.com/the Detour Podcast. Tell your mates, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you again next Thursday. And we'll announce all the details on how to get involved with the detours if you want to come along the Giro, Tour de France, and potentially the Vuelta. So we'll see you next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again to Sarah. See you then.
This is the winning ride of the Tour de France.